again, you can lay back. If you're sitting, please choose to sit on top of a blanket and find a comfortable seat. You'll be crossing your shins and just begin to close your eyes. Placing your hands on your knees, or they can be on your thighs, whatever is most comfortable here. For me, it's comfortable to place my hands on my knees. And then start to bring your awareness to your breath. Take a smooth inhale through your nose. And exhale, open your mouth, let it go. Again, inhale, nice and smooth. Open your mouth, release. On your next exhale, allow yourself to make a sound. So inhale, exhale, release. Continue doing that. I'll keep my exhale sounds to myself just so I don't create too much noise for you. While you're breathing, just notice the magic of your own breath. How just breathing like this and concentrating, focusing on your breath, you start to release the tension, whatever tension you have in your body. And now take an inhale. Your exhale, let's let the exhale be longer than the inhale. So really push out all the air. Release it all out. Now let's practice pranayama breath that is called Brahmari breathing, and it's also known as bee breathing. So it's when you take an inhale through the nose, and then your exhale, you make the M sound. So it's gonna be like a buzzing sound. So it's a and it's an M sound all the way through your exhale. So this type of breathing, it helps for release of stress. It helps to create a quiet mind. If your mind is like chattery and it's really active and you can't stop thinking about something, you can't stop that anxiety coming on, the worry, take a few moments, go somewhere by yourself, or if your family doesn't mind it, do it in front of them. But once you start practicing this breath, it's really, really cool. So let's take a smooth inhale. Exhale, make the M sound. Inhale again. One more time for good measure. Take an inhale. Exhale. Blink your eyes open. If you are seated, make your way onto your back. Otherwise, if you're on your back, stay there. And then make sure if you have blocks that they're already on the outsides of your mat. Take your knees into your chest. Open up your knees wider than your hips and bring them back in. Inhale, open. Exhale, center. Inhale, open. Exhale, center. 2 more times. Bring your knees to center. Hold onto your right knee. Stretch your left leg down long. Knee comes in. Take it out to the side. Bring it back into center. Take it over to your left and come into a twist. Stretch your right arm out. Breathe here. Make your way back to center. Keep your right knee in. Flex your left foot. Feel your heel going forward and your toes going up towards the ceiling. Now, bring your left hand down and place your hand on your thigh and feel how your thigh is engaged, right? The muscle is firming back into its bone, which is the femur bone. Okay. So your foot is flexed. Your thigh and your knee are centered to the ceiling. Okay. Now hold on to your knee and reach your left leg up and overhead. Palm faces the right. And now place your, your right hand down. Actually, I've got it reversed. So let's place this left hand down towards your left toes and then your right arm up. There we go. So we're here and we're breathing, and now we're going to contract the core. So draw the navel in and up the body. Good. And now let's reverse the arms. Right hand goes down, left arm goes up. And then lift your left leg up. Activate your thigh muscles. Push your heel forward. Really feel that flexing of the foot. And now lower it down. Let's take that right knee down. Switch. Left goes in. And take the knee out. And bring it back to center. And now take it across your body, coming into a twist. Stretch your left arm out. Continue your breath. And then when you're ready, bring your knee back to center. Hold your knee in. Flex your right foot. Again, feeling your right thigh muscle engaging. Toes going up towards the ceiling. Reach your left arm up overhead, and we're going to do the same thing with your arms. Right hand goes down towards your toes. Hold here. Now lift your right leg off, keeping that flex going on the right foot. Smooth inhales and press the navel in and up the body. And now we'll switch. Left arm goes down, right arm goes up. Come back, bring your knees back to center. Rock side to side. And now lift your shins up towards the ceiling, tabletop your legs. Bring your hands behind you and let's take some core stability here. So firm the low belly into the back body. Take an inhale, keep the firming, and then exhale, lift your shoulder blades up. Pause here, but breathe. And now small, tiny pulses going up towards your knee. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay up. Reach your arms forward towards your heels. Stretch your right leg down. Reach your right arm up. Tiny crunches. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay up, reach your right arm forward, rebend your left. Left leg goes straight. Right hand goes forward, left goes up and overhead and crunch. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down, bring your knees to your chest. Rock side to side, make any movements that you feel necessary. And now when you are ready, actually, let's grab onto our strap. And I need to get mine. Take your right leg, right foot up into the strap, ball mound of the foot, grabbing onto your strap with both hands. You can start with your left knee bent or you can straighten it down. Really feel what kind of helps to anchor your hips. So you do you. Take a small bend in that right leg and exhale, bend your knee. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straight. And notice how my elbows splay out when I bend. And then they kind of soften down towards the mat. One more exhale. Straighten your left leg. Straighten your right leg. And now you don't have to push your knee all the way back. It's just a little bit more straight than from when we started. Okay. Strap comes into your right hand. Open up your your right leg. Place your right elbow onto the floor so it can create a kickstand. Push down your left hip down. So root your left hip down. And now again, become aware of your right foot and flex your right foot. Heel going up towards the ceiling, toes going down. Inhale, center. Take the strap into your left hand. Exhale, cross over. Place your right hand into your right hip crease and slide your hip forward. Inhale, come back to center. Let's switch. Left foot goes in, right foot. Let's start with a bent knee. Take your strap into your hands, into both hands. Exhale, bend your knee. Inhale up. One more time. Straighten your right foot, your right leg. Flex the bottom foot, flex the top. Straighten it up. Take the strap into your left hand, open it out to your left. Keep your right hip rooted down. Creating that kickstand with your left elbow again. Finding your breath, really moving through these poses with your breath. And then inhale, come back to center. Take your strap into your right hand. Place your left hand into your left hip crease, slide it forward, and then take it across your body. So a flexing of the foot in both feet. Did I say that funky? Yeah, I did, but that's okay. Flex both feet. Sometimes I speak like Yoda. And then inhale, come back to center. Take your foot out, strap to your side. Knees into your chest. You can either rock over to your right hand side or left hand side, or place your hands underneath your knees and rock up and back until you come up to a seat. Make your way into hands and knees, wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. And let's come into some cow cats. So inhale, cow, open up through the heart, and then notice your belly. Are you sinking it a ton? Don't make it an exaggerated back bend. Keep the slight constriction in the core. And then exhale, round your spine, push the navel into the spine, release the head. Inhale, dip the spine just a tad. Keep the sitting bones pointing back behind you. Exhale. So now move through your cat-cows with your breath. Really connecting your poses, your movements, and your breath. And then finding some unique movements that you need right now in your body. And now press your hips back, come into a child's pose, forehead rest on the floor. Come back up into all fours. And now placing the wrist underneath, your right wrist underneath your right shoulder. On your right knee, so let's tilt your right foot out to your right side. Just a little, it doesn't have to be drastic. Micro bending your bottom arm, which is your right arm. Reach your left foot back, flatten it onto the mat, straighten it, and now lift your left arm up. Modified Vashisthasana. So we have the bottom knee as a support while we're still using our core and our side body to lengthen ourselves up. So know that when your shoulders move, your hips go along for the ride. So while we're here, direct the flesh of the buttocks down towards your heels. And if you want to move into it a little bit, if you want to give yourself a little bit more a challenge, you could lift your top leg and feel the flex. Really flex that foot, heel going forward, and then exhale, lower yourself back down. Other side, so position your wrist underneath your shoulder and take your left foot out to the side, just a tad. I would say maybe 45 degrees. Now straighten your right leg, flatten out your foot, create stability, micro bend your left arm to use your bicep and your tricep, and slowly as you rotate your shoulders, your hips are coming along for the ride. Reach your right arm up, and now really press that navel into your spine and lift up from your side body. So don't hang here, really lengthen. Good, take an inhale. And maybe you want another challenge. Let's lift, you can lift the right leg up, flexing that foot, heel going down. Heel goes down, and then exhale, replant your hand, knee comes down onto the mat. Take an inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Press down through the palms, through the fingers, push down through the tops of the feet, lift your shins and knees off, core work. Breathe. Exhale, lower the knees down. Lengthen the body, and then exhale again. Lift your knees, lift your shins. Slowly roll over your toes, straighten out your legs, and push yourself into a downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet here, your knees, one bends, then the next bends, then the other knee bends. And then go back down to your knees. Sit back onto your heels and place your hands forward. And now turn them ever so slightly out towards the sides of the room. Right? So we want to create more opening from the shoulder to the neck. So angle them out just a little bit. Place your hands down, angle them out just like we did when we were sitting on our heels. Lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Step your feet out wider than your hips and push your hips back. Push that force into your hands, into your fingers, and use it to straighten your spine and push your hips back. Slowly walk your hands back to your feet. And then hang here, Uttanasana, letting the crown of the head down, releasing it down to the mat. Grab onto your knees and place a micro bend. I'm sorry, not onto your knees. Grab onto your elbows and place a micro bend in the knees as you sway side to side. Maybe looking right and left, maybe nodding your head. Yes and no. And release your elbows, just hang for a second. Bring your hands to your hips, elbows drop back. Bend in your knees, inhale, lengthen your spine all the way up. Elbows press back. Nice. Let's walk up to the front edge of the mat. Step your feet hips width apart, hips width distance. Bring your hands down to your sides. Release the flesh of the buttocks down. So basically just a tiny little clenching of the buttocks. On an inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, soft bend in the knees. Hands to hips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold, plant your hands down, step your right foot back, pause, low lunge. Lower your back knee, flatten out. Plant your right hand down. Inhale, reach your left arm up. So scissor your thighs here. Really lengthen through your top hand, your left arm, and keep that core contraction. Find 3 breaths. Place your left hand down. Walk your right knee back just a tad. Feel a little more stretch in your right hip flexor. And then exhale, shift the hips back, straighten your left foot, and then flex your left. Straighten your left leg, flex your left foot. Breathe here, and then you can recruit your blocks to be placed underneath your hands to create more lengthening in your back body. Finding your breath. Inhale, bend your front knee, plant your hands down, charge up the back foot, and then step back plank. 3 breaths in plank. Spread your fingers, press down through your palms, roll your shoulder heads back so it creates an opening in the chest. Draw the navel in, flesh of the buttocks down towards the heels. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Bend your right knee, step your foot next to your right thumb, pause, low lunge. Back knee, back foot flattens. Plant your left hand, right arm goes up. So squeeze the outer hips towards the center of the body. Draw the navel into the back body. Reach up through the right hand. 2 breaths here. One more. Exhale, right hand comes down, scoot your back knee a little back, feel a little more stretch in your left hip flexor. Grab your blocks if you so desire, and then shift your hips back, straighten your right leg, flex your right foot. So that we don't overstretch our back leg, you can micro bend the front knee and isometrically drag your heel back, but don't move it. So the force is there, but you're not moving the heel anyway. And then exhale, rebend the front knee. Plant your hands down, charge up the back foot, and step forward. Hands to calves, lengthen up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Pause here, Tadasana. Core contracted, bring your hands together to your heart. Pause. And exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, hinge forward, soft bend in the knee. Fingertips to calves, lengthen up. Exhale, fold, plant your hands down, step your left foot back. Low lunge. Lower your back knee, flatten out your foot. Core in, reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. So feel that stretch in that left hip flexor, the left psoas. Really bring that navel into the back body as you reach your right hand behind you, left fingertips forward, finding this gentle twist. Scissor your knees, your legs together. Pretend like there's a beach ball in between and you're squeezing. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, revolve your hands back down onto the mat. Charge the back foot up, step back plank. Glide the buttocks back toward the heels. 2 breaths. You can always come down to your forearms. If your wrists are a little bit sensitive, keep rolling the flesh of the buttocks back towards the heels. And on your exhale, back body to downward facing dog. Sorry, I shift back downward facing dog. I lost my words for a second. Exhale, bend your left knee and step your foot next to your left thumb. Lower the back knee, flatten out the foot. Contract the core, reach your arms up overhead. Scissor the thighs and then reach your left fingertips back, your right forward. One more. Exhale, plant your hands back onto the mat, charge up the back foot, step forward, hands to calves, lengthen up, pause, feel the belly contracting, exhale, fold and inhale, reach your arms up overhead, hands down through heart center. Now we'll get into sun salutation A. Inhale, fingertips up. Exhale, hinging forward, forward fold. Hands to calves, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold, plant your hands down, step your feet back, plank. Pausing in plank, drawing the navel to the spine, glutes to heels. Exhale, lower your knees, flatten out your toes. So your knees are already automatically behind your hips, right? Because we're coming here, we're not bringing them up to hands and knees. Flatten through your toes, engage the core, navel to spine, shift forward, and bend your elbows and graze your body with your arms as you go down. A lot of core work here, so nice and controlled, lower yourself down. Either place your forehead or a cheek to the mat. Sliding your hands back so your wrists are underneath your elbows. Push your hands down, spread your fingers, push the tops of the feet. Inhale, baby cobra. Flesh of the buttocks down to the heels. Exhale, lower. Again, inhale, baby cobra, use your core. Exhale, lower. One more. Inhale, baby cobra, reach the buttocks down to the heels and exhale, fold. Curl your toes underneath you. You can use your knees here to bring you up and back, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. Press down through your palm. Keep your ears in line with your upper arms, so don't lower your head too close to your mat. Keep your core engaged and keep your thighs lifted. Inhale, look in between your hands. On your exhale, either step, or hop to the front of the mat. Hands to calves, lengthen, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach your fingertips up overhead. Bring your hands down through heart center. Hands down to your side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to calves, lengthen your spine. Pause, use your core. Roll your shoulder heads back. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands down. Step your right foot back, then your left foot. Pause in plank. Glutes towards your heels. And then one hand at a time, come down to forearm plank. Breathe here. Try so hard, or try to get your spine nice and long and straight. Notice if your butt is sticking out or your hips are sinking down. Bring it back to a line. Lift your right leg off the mat. Right toes just a little bit, nothing super high, and bring it back down. Let's lift it up an inch, and that's a lot of core work there. Lower down and then press into child's pose. I should say, release back into child's pose, making it a little bit softer vocabulary so you don't think I'm going to say downward facing dog. Catch your breath here. Hopefully not catching your breath. But maybe it's me that needs to catch my breath because I'm teaching and I'm doing. Walk hands forward if they weren't already. Come back to hands and knees. Straighten your legs, come back to plank. And then maybe we want to try classic chaturanga, or maybe we come down to modified. Wherever you're at, I'm going to show classic. My glutes are pointing back towards my heels. I shift forward, bend my elbows, and I graze the sides of the body here. My core is working. Then I stretch my toes and I straighten both of my arms. Upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, reach the hips back. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. You're more than welcome to come into a child's pose. You're more than welcome to skip the vinyasa, which is the chaturanga and the back bend. You can just go straight into downward facing dog. So it's all up to you. It's your practice. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of the mat. Hands to calves, lengthen up. Open the chest. Exhale, fold. Walk your feet out a little wider than your hips, just a little. Plant your left hand right in front of your face on the mat, right across from your face. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And you don't have to lock in your hips. They can sway. It's okay if they sway to the right. And then bring your right hand down across from your face on the mat. Reach your left arm up. And you can even bend your right knee here. So we're just doing a twist, but we're not on our back and we're not sitting. This is a different type of twist. Place your hand down. Release the crown of the head. Come back to Uttanasana. Micro bend the knees. Contract the core. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Urdhva Hastasana. Pause. Hands back to center. And down. One more sun salutation A. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands to calves, lengthen up. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands down. Step your feet back, plank. Bend your right knee, place it down onto the mat, and you can angle it out or keep it there. And then roll yourself open. Reach your right arm up. Straighten your left foot. Vashisthasana. Core really working, side body really working. And now you can lift the back leg up. Flex through the foot. And then let's look down and see our toes. Oh my gosh, we see our toes. We see our thigh active. Lower your left hand down. Come back to center. Other side. Left knee stays on the mat. Right leg straightens back. Right fingers, right arm stretches up. I'm shifting because I'm wanting to put my left wrist directly underneath my left shoulder. So again, it's your practice, it's your body. You make sure you need to do what you need to do in order for you to be stable. Navel to spine. Maybe you lift your right leg up, flex the foot. Core is working. Look down, look at your foot, look at your toes. And then exhale, lower the right hand down. Come back to center. Straighten your legs, plank. And again, you could do modified or classic chaturanga. I'm gonna choose modified. My knees are down. You should either pose, bend your elbows, keep your shoulder heads back, use your core, and then inhale your back bend. So it could be cobra or upward facing dog. Curling your toes under, shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a smooth inhale. And then exhale, stick out your tongue. Dragon's breath. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale, stick out your tongue. Nice. Take an inhale. Exhale however you want. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of the mat. Hands to calves, lengthen up, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Micro bend your knees. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. Hands go down to your heart. Reach your arms down, Tadasana. Allow your eyelids to close and take in this pose. Take in the posture. Take in the breath. Take in the moment. Okay, so now we're going to step out and towards the long end, the long side of the mat. And take your feet, sorry, I just had a blonde moment there, or I mean, that's not a good thing. Take your feet out wide and parallel your feet. I zoned out. Okay, let's see, this is your right. So right heel slides out, toes up and over to the front of your mat. Press into your back edge, firm your back thigh, just like what we did on the floor for Vashisthasana. And then on your exhale, bend your left knee. So maybe you need to crawl your foot forward just so it's underneath your knee. Your ankle is underneath your knee. Lengthen up through the torso, reach your arms out to your sides. And then find your drishti beyond your middle finger. Now check your back arm and check to see if it's in line with your shoulder. Is it too low? Is it too high? Or is it just right? And how about we see if our shoulders are stacking on top of our hips? Maybe we need to position forward or backward. Nice. Bend your front arm, press your forearm into your thigh, reach your top arm up. Pressing your forearm into your thigh lengthens, gives you space to create from your shoulder to your neck. So try not to dip into your bottom shoulder. Reach your top fingertips over to the front of the room. Keep firming your back thigh. So maybe we have started to bend it, firm it. So straighten your leg. Come back, warrior two, straighten your front leg. Pause here. Kick your hips back, reach through your left fingertips. Keep reaching, your hips hinge back, and then slowly place your hand onto your shin. Reach your right arm up. If you need something higher, maybe you can grab your block on the outside of your leg to give you more length through the top and bottom side torso. Now reach your fingertips forward, extended Trikonasana, and keep reaching those hips back. Press into the back foot, come back up, bring your hands to your hips, parallel your feet. That was the word I was missing. Grab your block and place it behind your right heel. Draw your sit bones down. Slide your left heel out. Turn your toes up and over to the back of the mat now. Pressing into the back edge of your left. Firming your thigh. On your exhale, bend your right knee. Bring your torso back on top of your hips. And straighten your arms, reach your arms out to your sides. So pressing down through the feet, lengthen up through the chest, through the sternum. And let's check our back arm here. Where is it in space? Have it be right along the line of your shoulder. Gazing beyond the front middle finger. And then bending your right elbow, pressing your forearm into your thigh, reaching your top arm up. So we're still finding length through the top and the bottom waist, side angle pose. Now reach your fingertips towards the back of the mat, and still that bottom shoulder should be down and away from your bottom ear. Find your breath. Inhale, come all the way up. Place your hand onto your hips. Reparallel your feet. Now let's take our blocks and we'll take it to our wall behind us. So we want to place our right foot right in front of the block. We want this block to be about 6 inches in front of our foot. Now, you're going to reach your right hand down onto your block. And this block isn't going to be against the wall. It's going to be 6 inches away from the wall. Your right foot is an inch closer to the wall, so 5 inches away from the wall. You're going to bend your right knee And as you bend your right knee, you're pressing your right hand onto the block. Lift your back leg up. Place your hand on your hip and find your foot flexed. When you can see your toes, that's a good thing, because if we have it straight behind us, and that means you're neutralizing your hips. So we want to keep this top hip angled down. We don't want it completely open. We don't want to stack the hips. And now maybe see if you can reach your top arm up. How is the breath? The bottom leg is micro bent. So this is Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Stay in the pose if you want, or come out of it. I just need to fix my screen because I'm not seeing myself anymore. There we go. Okay, so if we've come back, let's take our block to the opposite side. And I just realized I'm still mirroring, so let's take it over to your right side. Or if you did your right, forget it. I've messed you up and I'm no longer mirroring you. So again, with your block 5-6 inches away from the wall, your foot a little closer, place your bottom hand onto your block, bending your bottom knee, push into the block and lift your back foot. Now this wall is here for our right hip, right? So it's slightly touching it, but it's also here for balance. Now, maybe we keep our hand on our waist, or we bring our top arm up towards the ceiling. Micro bending that bottom knee, don't lock it out. And looking down, seeing the toes going up, flexing through the heel. How is the breath here? Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Now try and stack your shoulders. So top shoulder stacking on top of the bottom. And then exhale, bend the top knee, place your foot down, come back up. Let's try that one more time. So let's place the block on our left side, in front of our left foot, 6 inches away from the foot. Placing your left hand on your block, bending in that bottom leg, that left foot, pressing down into the block, lifting your back leg up, lifting your right leg, flexing the foot immediately. Unflex and notice kind of how wobbly it gets. And when you flex, you're like, oh, I have control over my leg. Reach your right arm up. Keep your top hip tilting down. Don't stack the hips, but do stack the shoulders. Open up through the collarbones. Look back at your foot. Maybe it needs to go forward a little more. Notice if your head is going down to your shoulder. If it is, root and rebound up and out of your shoulder head. And then exhale, bend your knees and come down. Take it over to the opposite side, your right side. Toes pointing towards your block. Place your right hand onto your block. And as you press through your block, lift your back leg. Hand onto your hip or directly up towards the ceiling. Look down at your feet. Make sure your foot's flexing. Make sure you can see your toes. And then exhale, come back down. And lengthen up. Let's stand at the front of our mat. Hands down to your side, Tadasana. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, soft bend in the knees. Hands to shins, lift your sternum. Exhale, fold, plant your hands down, step your feet back, plank pose. Knees up or down. Shift yourself forward, bend your elbows, graze. And then inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, lower all the way down onto your mat. Forehead onto your mat or cheek onto your mat. Reach your arms back towards your feet. Place your feet so that they are aligned with your hips and not wider. Press the tops of the feet down. Lift your knees up. Buttocks goes towards your heels. Inhale, lift your chest, reach your fingertips back. Lift your heels, lift your feet off the mat. Thighs are engaged, core is engaged. Breathe. And then lower your head down. Maybe it's opposite cheek or maybe it's back to forehead. Pressing your feet down, thighs lift. Inhale, come all the way up to Shalabhasana. Lift your shoulders up, your feet up, breathe. Left arm goes forward, right arm stays back, keep breathing. Right arm, left arm back, right arm forward, keep breathing. And then lower all the way down. Opposite cheek or forehead. Plant your hands down onto your mat, curl your toes underneath you. Push up and back, downward facing dog. Press your hips back. On a smooth inhale, lift your right leg up off the mat, core stability. Round your spine, bring your knee into your nose, shift your shoulders above your wrist. Step your foot in between your hand, pause, low lunge. Back heel comes down. Windmill your arms up and over, coming into warrior two. Breathe. Bend your arm and press it down into your thigh. Inhale, reach your arm up. Fingertips to the front. Come back to warrior two. Straighten your front knee. Shift your hips back. Back thigh is firm. Reach your fingertips, your front fingertips forward, forward, forward until you can't go anymore. Place your hand on your shin. Reach your top arm up. Find your breath. Bring your hand all the way down. Take your right hand to your block, and this block again is ahead of you, maybe 6 inches in front. Scoot your back foot up, slide it to the front of your foot, to the front of your mat, and then maybe you lift your back heel up and bring your hand onto your hip. So it's gonna be wobbly. We can stay here. If it's too wobbly, we can always move to the wall. And always know that your block has 3 different settings: low, medium, and high. So you can take it back to the wall and you can lift your back foot up, your back leg, coming back into Ardha Chandrasana, or taking it in the center of your mat. Either one works, there's nothing better. And when you're done, place your hands down, your feet back, downward facing dog. Let's take our knees down and come into a child's pose here. Slowing down the mind, slowing down the breath. So we're just playing with our body and we're making different shapes with it. Press down through your hands, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And then on a smooth inhale, lift your left leg up, foot is flexed. Round your spine, knee to nose, shift your shoulders over your wrist. Step your foot in between your hands, pause. Back heel comes down, windmill your arms up, warrior two. Finding length through your torso, finding your drishti beyond your middle finger. Nice smooth breaths. Bend your left forearm, your left elbow, press it into your bottom thigh, reach your right arm up. Side angle pose, Parshva Konasana. Keep the length through both sides of the body. Now reach your top fingertips forward. Extended side angle, Utthita Parshva Konasana, and then make sure that bottom shoulder doesn't come up into your neck. Press back up, warrior two. Straighten your front leg, cut your hips back, lengthen forward, reach forward, your hips go back, lower your hand down onto your shin, or take your block if you need more height. So again, that's why it's always important to place your blocks to the front end of your mat, so they're always handy. Lengthening through both top and bottom torso, reach your fingertips forward. Extended Trikonasana. Navel into the spine. And then exhale, lower the top hand down to your hip. Take your block in front of your left foot. Push down through your left hand. And you can graze the back foot with your mat. When you're ready, when you're stable in your core, lift your back foot off, flexing the foot. And if you can, look back and see your toes. Now, if this isn't working, take it to the wall. That's why I love the wall. Because you can get into these poses so you can feel and access them. Now you can see your toes. You can reach your right arm up. One more breath. Lower your hand down, your foot down, and let's make our way into a child's pose. Hips to heels, forehead rests nicely onto the mat. So I realized that we got into Ardha Chandrasana differently on this last time. But it's okay. We can get into it and still create the pose. Reach your fingertips forward. Lift your forearms, lift your elbows. Slightly lift your forehead, walk your hands over to your right. Press down through your left hip. Feel a good stretch in the left side body. Crawl your fingertips over to your left. Lower your forehead onto your mat and get a nice stretch in the right side of your body. Pressing your right hip down. I think I still get confused when I'm in a warrior pose. I'm like, oh wait, am I supposed to be mirroring? So I kind of get thrown off. It's all a learning process. Walk your hands back to center, forehead on the mat. Slowly crawl your hands back towards your hips. Lift your torso up and grab your blanket if you have one. Sit on your blanket so your sitting bones are at the edge of your mat. Open up your legs, coming into Upavishta. This doesn't need to be a super wide-legged pose. Slightly microbend those knees. Draw your arms, your fingertips up. Navel goes back to your spine. Sitting bones go down into the blanket. Lengthen up. Twist over to your left. Now I'm mirroring. Reach over to the foot, to your left foot. Place your hands down on the outside of your leg. So it's just a little different perspective because I often look for the students in front of me to see right and left. But when I don't have students, it's a little bit of a mind trick because I'm having to like imagine a body and then I just throw myself off. Inhale, lengthen the body. Exhale, fold over. Allow your neck, your back to round. Root your left hip down, your right hip down, apologies. Crawl your hands back towards your knees and then inhale, lengthen up, reach your arms up. Twist to your right, reach towards your right foot. Your hands come onto the outsides of your leg, lengthen, crawl forward and then roll. Root your left hip down. Slide your hands back. Navel to spine, come up. Arms go up again. Frontal hip bones go up towards your chest. Place your hands in front of you, crawl them forward. Pause wherever you want, pushing the sitting bones down into the mat, the blanket. Breathe here. I like to grab my blocks and place them underneath my elbows, my forearms. Now I'm barely on my blanket, but it's just a little lift. I don't have to be all the way in the back. It's just providing this posterior pelvic tilt. So it's allowing my pelvis to go back rather than just spilling forward. And then when you're ready, place your hands down onto the floor, make your way up. Blocks come out to the sides. Legs come together. Flex your feet. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward through your hips. Micro bend through the knees and plant your hands on the outsides of your legs. First, let's lengthen our spine. And now let's exhale and round. You can bring your blocks on the outsides of your legs, placing them underneath your elbows. So I think you can feel that this is quite a stretch in the back legs. So having the knees micro bent allows for some action in your hamstrings so that they're not overstretching. Because when we bend our knees, the muscle that's working is the back of the leg, the hamstring. Let your hands down, lengthen up, core engage, and slowly slide up, torso lengthens. Bring your hands on the outsides of the hips, sitting in Dandasana pose. Opening up through the chest, rounding your shoulder heads back. Flexing through the feet. Again, creating this drawing of the hips, so this posterior tilt. So your pelvis is a bowl, and we want it to tilt back just a little rather than it spilling forward. Frontal hip bones up towards the chest. One more breath. Nice. Let's bend our knees, come off of your lift, and lower onto your backs. Let's take a bridge before we fully relax. Feet, hips width distance apart. Press your inner foot, your outer foot. Inhale, lift your hips up. Hip bones, frontal hip bones up towards your chest. Again, that pelvic tilt. Reach your arms, straighten your arms. Grab onto the outside edges of your mat and walk your shoulder blades underneath you. Open up your chest. Did we lose the pushing down through the feet? If we did, push. Are we still breathing? And then exhale, lower down. Take the feet out as wide as the mat and knock your knees side to side. If anything's in your way, just move it. You want to release the low back. Let your knees drop over to your right side. Reach your arms up. And now reach your fingers, your arms to your right, coming into like a half moon. Curl so we get some stretch in the left body. Now try not to collapse into your chest. Open up through your chest and just reach your fingers towards the right. Come back to center. Arms go straight back, knees go to your left. Open up through the chest and reach your fingers to your left. Hopefully that makes sense. Come back to center. Take your knees to center. And let's hug our knees into our chest, rolling on the back body. Getting a nice little mini massage before we get into our Shavasana pose. And finding any last pose we need. Actually, let's do one pose. I forget this one. Bend your knees, come into happy baby. Grab onto the outside edges of your mat. Push your knees down. Lengthen through your low back. And when you're ready, come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Lift your head off of your mat. Curl up into a tiny ball. And exhale, slowly lower down into your Shavasana. Maybe taking that blanket, placing it under your head or under your knees. Releasing your arms out. Feet splay out, knees splay out. Softening the center in between the eyebrows. Softening the shoulders and then allowing them to be heavy. Finding softness in the belly. Finding softness in the hips, but then allowing the hips to be heavy. So it's this equal and opposite action. Knees splay out, feet splay out. Shavasana. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Wiggling your fingers and toes. Maybe taking a stretch from top to bottom, bringing your arms up overhead. Bend your left knee and roll onto your right side, fetal position. Finding the symbolism here in fetal position as you take it right after Shavasana, which is translated to corpse pose. Maybe finding that rejuvenation, regeneration, rebirth. Press your top hand down as you make your way up to seated. Maybe keeping your eyes closed or a soft gaze. Bring your hands to center, to heart center in gratitude. And then with an exhale, bow into your heart. With thumbs pressing into your heart, this reminds us that we all come from pure love. Thumbs rise up to meet our lips, reminding us to speak words of love. And the knuckles of the thumbs press in between the eyebrows to remind us that we're all connected through this same love. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. Thank you for bearing with me. And thank you for coming to your mat. Namaste. Thank you, thank you. Glad to see you. Let me know if you have questions. All good?
All good. Thank you, Tanya.
You're welcome. Have a good week.
Thanks. Same to you.
Bye.
Bye.